This is the second part of a Level 2 Functional Skills Maths paper from Highfield. In this part, you can use a calculator. We'll have a look at the questions one by one. Question 1. 5 corners of a hexagon are drawn on the grid below. What are the coordinates of the 6th corner? So having a look, so there is a point missing here, and we've got 1, 2, 3 squares, 1, 2, 3 squares. So that looks like it. So the coordinates of this point are -2 and 1. So -2, 1. The diagram below shows an isosceles triangle with 2 equal sides and 2 equal angles as marked. Calculate the value of angle Z. So these 2 angles are equal, and we've got this third angle which is equal to 23 degrees. We know that in total all 3 of them will make 180 degrees. So if I take away 23 from 180, that should give me what these 2 angles combined will be equal to, which is 157 degrees. And if I divide it by 2, it should give me what is angle Z equal to. So 78.5 degrees. The tallest point in England is 3,209 feet above sea level. The lowest point in England is -9.8 feet below sea level. What is the difference between the tallest and the lowest points in England? Write the answer in the box below. So if we think of a number line and 0 being here, they would have 3,209 feet, and we'd have somewhere here -9.8 feet. So we're gonna add this, which is the difference between this point and 0, and that is equal to 3,209, and this, which is equal to 9.8. So adding them together, 0 and 8 is 8, 9 and 9 is 18, 2, 3. So that is 3,218.8 feet. Which of the following fractions is equivalent to 40%? Is it 40 out of 1,000, which is not? Is it 120 out of 300? So let's try it out. We can divide them both by 3, so we get 100 at the bottom. So 120 divided by 3, that is 40. So 40 out of 100 is actually 40%. So this is right. We don't need to even look at these ones. But even if you do, to get from 20 to 100, multiply by 5. So we'll do the same here. That is 20 out of 100, which is 20%. And then again, this is not going to be 40% because it's 100 out of 40. So that is much higher than that. So the answer is 120 over 300. A company has a budget of £810,530 for a new project. So let's write that. So £810,530. The first phase of the project costs £237,219.62. How much of the budget does the company have left after the first phase? So let's rewrite this. So taking this away, we can do this with a calculator, and it gives us 573,310.38 pence. Put the following decimals in order from lowest to highest. So looking at the whole number first, 25, 26, 25, 25, so it should be one of the 25s. Then looking at the digit on the right next to the whole number, so that's 6, that's a 4, and that's a 2. So this should be the lowest. So 25.246, and then comparing the other two, we get this one with a 4, so that's the next biggest one, 25.462, and then 25.642, and finally 26.524. And I should have written all of it here instead. Convert 17 pints into litres. 5 pints equal 2.84 litres. Show your working and write the answer in the box below. So if 5 pints are equal to 2.84 litres, then 17 pints. To get from 5 to 17, what do we multiply by? And we can use a calculator there, so get 17 divided by 5, and that gives us 3.4. So we'll do the same here, same direction for the arrow, so 3.4 times 2.84, and that is equal to 9.656 litres. Which of the following values is the largest? We've got 850 thousandths, 2 and 1 ninth, 7/3, 2 and 7/550ths. Okay, so we know that this is less than 1, so that's going to be the smallest. We've got this, which is higher than 2, and this is higher than 2, but this one, 7/3. How many 3's fit into 7? So that is exactly 2, and then we have 1/3 left. So 1/3 is higher than 1/9 and higher than 7/550ths. So this is the highest or the largest number or value. So 7/3 is the answer. Identify the types of correlation in the following scattergraphs. We can see a downward slope in here, so it's a negative correlation. And this one is a positive correlation because the slope goes upwards. Question 10. You work as a lorry driver for Highfield Transport. You receive your monthly wage slip. Your annual salary is £22,124.48. You have a tax-free allowance of £12,500. You need to deduct tax and national insurance on the salary that you earn after this allowance. Payee tax is 18.62% on your earnings after your tax-free allowance. National insurance is 15.7% on your earnings after your tax-free allowance. Your pension is 3% of your total monthly salary before any tax deductions. Complete your monthly wage slip above, calculating the payee's tax, national insurance, pension, and net pay. Show any workings in the box below. So we've got, looking at the payslip, got the monthly rate, and we've got to fill these gaps. Now we've got to deduct the tax-free allowance before we work out the tax. The tax-free allowance is deducted on the annual salary, so we're gonna take away 12,500 from the annual salary. That's equal to £9,624.48. So that's the amount that they're going to be paying tax on. And it is for the whole year. So if I divide this by 12, then we can find out the amount that they will be taxed on a monthly basis. And that is £802.04. How much? That is 18.62%. So 18.62 out of 100 times 802.04, and this gives us 149.339848, which is about £149 and 34 pence. So rounding this to 2 decimal places. So £149 and 34 pence. I'll add it here. Now national insurance, that is 15.7% on your earnings after your tax-free allowance. And that was £802 and 4 pence. So 15.7%, 15 out of 100 times 802.04 gives us 125.92028, which is in money terms £125 and 92 pence. So we'll be adding this to the payslip. Now we've got to work out the pension contribution, which is 3% of your total monthly salary before any tax deductions. So this is not 3% of this amount, but it's 3% of this amount, 1,843, which is the annual salary divided by 12. So we'll work it out. So 3%, that is 3 out of 100 times 1843.71, which is 55.3113, and in terms of money that is £55 and 31 pence. To work out net pay now, we just need to take away all of these three amounts from the 1,843.71. So 1,843.71, take away 330.57, and it gives us £1,513 and 14 pence. You're about to set off on a delivery. You are looking at the possible routes and how long each will take. So we've got 3 different routes. You will start at the warehouse, go to the delivery point, then return to the warehouse. Considering the traffic forecast for the journey to and from the delivery point, which route will be the fastest? So we've got route A, which is 105 minutes normally. The traffic forecast says that only 7.9 of the regular journey time. Okay, so that is 7/9 of 105, which we work out by dividing 105 by 9 and then multiplying it by 7, which gives us 81.6 recurring, which we can write as 81.67 minutes. Then we've got the traffic forecast, which says only 8/9 of regular journey time. So we've got to add that. So that is 8/9 of 105 minutes. So again, 105 divided by 9 times 8, which is 93.3 recurring, which you can write as 93.33. So in total, this is going to be 7 and 3, that is 10, 10, 5, 17. So 175 minutes. For route B, that is 70 minutes normally, so add 2/6 to regular journey time. So we're going to do 2/6 of 70. Divided by 6 times 2, which is about 23.33. We need to add to this the 70 minutes as well, because it says in addition to that. So we get 33, so 93 minutes point 33. In fact, I should say 93.33 minutes. So now we've got to work out the traffic. So we've got to add 1/5 to regular journey time. So 1/5 of 70, that is 70 divided by 5, which is 14. So 14 add 70 gives us 84. So now to work out the total for this is going to be 84 add 93.33. So 177.33 minutes. And we've got now route C, which says 60 minutes normally, add 42% to regular journey time and add 28% to regular journey time. So we could combine them two together, 42 and 28, and add that to the 60 minutes. So 42 and 28. So it's 70, so we're working out 70% of 60 minutes. So 70 out of 100 times the 60 gives us 42 minutes. Now we need to be careful here to not just add the 60 but 120, because for the traffic it says add 42% to the regular journey time, so we add 60 here, and again here add 28% to regular journey time, which is again another 60. So we've worked the percentage out combined, we need to add 120 minutes. So we've got the 42, we do 42 add 120, that gives us 162 minutes for this last route. So route A, 175 minutes, route B, 177.33 minutes, and route C, 162 minutes. The question was, considering the traffic forecast for the journey to and from the delivery point, which route will be the fastest? So we're looking for the lowest number, and out of them three, it's route C. You are looking at the journey times of your deliveries over 2 months. This table shows the number of journeys you made each month and their duration. It's got April and May. Use the data to estimate the difference in the mean journey time between the two groups. Show your working out and write the answer in the box below. So we've got 0 to 2 hours. So the midpoint is 1 hour. More than 2 to 4, so that is 3, 5, 7, 9. And this is how many of them, how many journeys. So we're going to multiply. For April, 1 times 7, 3 times 4, 5 times 11, 7 times 5, 9 times 6, and then add the results. So 7, add 12, add 55, add 35, add 54, and it gives us 163. So 163 now, divide by how many journeys there are. So we got 7, add 4, add 11, add 5, add 6. And that's 33. So that equals 4.9393 and so on. So we're going to round it to 4.94 hours. We're going to repeat the process for May. So we've got the midpoints already. We're going to multiply. So 1 by 13, 3 by 10, 5 by 7, 7 by 3, and 9 by 1. So 13, add 30, add 35, add 21, add 9, which gives us 108. So 108 now, divide by 13, add 10, add 7, add 3, add 1, which is 34. So that equals 3.17647 and so on. And we can round that to 3.18 hours. So the question was to work out the difference in mean. So we've got mean for April here, and we've got the mean for May, and we're going to work out the difference. So 4.94 take away 3.18 gives us 1.76 hours. Question 13. You make several craft items we sell online. One of the items you make is a wooden photo frame. The photo frame is made of a backboard measuring 40 centimeters by 25 centimeters, a top and a bottom piece measuring 45 centimeters by 5 centimeters each, two side pieces measuring 20 centimeters by 5 centimeters each. Make a plan of the pieces of wood that will make up the frame. Use the graph paper on the next page to draw the 5 pieces of wood. Use a scale of 1 to 5. Show any workings in the box below. As the scale is 1 to 5, so 1 is on the graph and 5 is in reality. That means a backboard measuring 40 centimeters, that is going to be in reality 40, and on the graph paper that will be, to get from 5 to 40, we've multiplied by 8. We need to do the same here. and that's going to give us 8, so 8 centimeters. And you notice that it's actually 5 times smaller, so from 40 to get to 8 we've divided by 5. And if I divide 25 by 5, it's going to give me 5 centimeters. And if I repeat the process, 45 divided by 5 gives me 9 centimeters. 5 divided by 5 gives me 1 centimeter. 20 divided by 5 gives me 4. And 5 divided by 5 gives me 1 centimeter. I'll use these measurements when drawing these pieces on the graph paper. So backboard 8 by 5 centimeters. Each square measures 1 by 1 centimeter, so I'm gonna draw the backboard as 5 by 8 squares, and I'm going to use the insert function. So I'm going to insert a rectangle, whereas you can just use a pencil and a ruler. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll make a copy of this and paste it so I can create the other pieces. The top and the bottom piece measure 9 centimeters by 1 centimeter, which is 9 squares by 1 square in this case. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need to adjust this a bit, and that's just 1 centimeter wide. I need 2 copies because there is a top and the bottom piece, and they're both identical. And then I need 2 pieces which both measure 4 centimeters by 1 centimeter, and that means 4 squares by 1 square. So they will have 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1. We'll make a copy of this and paste so we can create 2 of them. Now all we need to do is to label them. You send the photo frames in boxes, which you cover in paper. Diagram is not to scale. So 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. You need to calculate the surface area of the boxes in centimeters to find out how much paper you need to cover each box. As you need to include additional paper for the flaps, you use the following formula to calculate the total amount of paper required per box. S times 0.5 pi equals T, where S is the total surface area, T is equal to total amount of paper required, pi is equal to 3.14. What's the total surface area of paper required per box? Give your answer in centimeters squared. Show your working out and write the answer in the box below. So we're looking at the dimensions we've got in here. The first thing to do is to convert the dimensions to centimeters, from inches into centimeters. So 20 inches. If 1 inch is equal to 2.54, 20 inches will be 2.54 times 20, which is 50.8. Same thing here now we do, so we do 2.54 times 12, which is 30.48 centimeters. And finally, we do 6 times 2.54, which is 15.24 centimeters. So to work out the total surface area, we will multiply here 15.24 by 30.48 to get this here, the area of this face. So we'll write that down. Which gives us 464.5152. Now this is for this face here. We need to multiply it by 2 to get this one as well. So 464.5152 times 2 gives us 929.0304. Now we've got other faces as well. We've got to work out this one at the top, which is the same as the one at the bottom. So this one at the top, dimensions are 30.48 times 50.8. And this equals 1548.384. We're going to multiply it by 2 since there are 2 identical faces. One at the top and one at the bottom. And this gives us 3096.768. And finally, we're going to look at the faces on the side. So we've got this one here, which is equal to, or can be worked out by multiplying 15.24 by 50.8. And this gives us 774.192. So multiplying this by 2 to get both sides gives us 1548.384. Now we've got to add all of them three together, and the total is equal to 5,574.1824. So I am going to replace that here now with the S, and I'm going to multiply that by 0.5 times pi. And pi was 3.14. So plugging this all into the calculator gives us 8,751.466368. So I'm going to round this to 8,751.47. You also make candles which you sell on your online craft shop. You sell candles for £6.75 each and photo frames for £8.99 each. 58% of the selling price is profit for each item. Last month you sold 46 candles and 31 photo frames. You estimate it takes 30 minutes to make each candle and 1.5 hours to make each photo frame. Calculate how much profit you earn per hour. Show your working out and write the answer in the box below. So 46 candles sold and 31 photo frames. I'm going to work out how much they sold for first. So 46 times 6.75, which is 310.5, and then 31 photo frames times 8.99 gives us 278.69, and adding them together gives us £589.19. 58% is profit, so 58%, which is 58 out of 100 of 589.19, gives us £341.73. So we're gonna divide that by the number of hours to work out how much profit per hour. So estimating that it takes 30 minutes to make each candle. So there were 46 candles. 46 divided by 2, that gives us 23 hours, because there are two lots of 30 minutes in 1 hour, and 1.5 hours. So we're going to do 31 times 1.5, which is 46.5 hours. So 23 add 46.5 gives us 69.5 hours in total. So £341.73, which was the profit, divided by 69.5 hours gives us 4.916978 and so on. So we'll write as £4.92. These are your figures for selling candles and photo frames last year. What's the percentage increase in your mean monthly profit from the first 6 months to the mean monthly profit from the second 6 months? So we'll add the profit from the first 6 months, which is 212, add 194, add 245, add 302, add 275, add 242, which is 1470, which then we're going to divide by 6, and it gives us 245. We'll repeat the process for the second 6 months, so 298, add 275, add 306, add 314, add 339, add 364, which is 1896. So again, dividing this by 6, is going to give us 316. So we're looking at the percentage increase. So 316, if I take away 245, it's going to work out the difference. So 71 is the increase. 71 out of the original amount, which was 245, or the original total in the first 6 months. So 71 out of 245, that gives us 0.28979 and so on. So as a percentage, this is roughly 28.98%. And this is the end of the paper.